Welcome back to Just a Cup on the Bleav Network, where performance, innovation, and a little friendly trash talk meet all at the baseline. Hey, I'm your host, Bryan Fetzer, and today joined with two phenomenal women that are co-founders of Volleybird. It is a curated boxes of premium essentials for tennis, for pickleball, paddle, and golf. And Ruley, it's an AI-driven rules companion that kind of translates ref speak into plain English, which we all know what that really means instantly, right away. So we're gonna dig into building brand and kind of that redefines play really, and what it takes to merge a CPG and AI and how these two women founders are really shaping the future of recreational sports. And with me, Tracy Thomas and Cassandra Torian. Hey, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and want to find out right away, how in the world did the two of you come together to do this? Because I think it's a very unique story.
Well, why don't you start?
Well, we were together before we did this, but we started with the app. That's how everything started. And that came to be because I'm a pickleball player and Cassandra is a lifetime tennis player. And, we're looking for something to do together. And I asked her to come play pickleball with me. And I had been playing for some time. So I was kind of on the other end of the curve for the rules and everything that the newbies kind of struggle with. And so this was her first time playing, and she was just couldn't believe the difference between pickleball and tennis, right? It wasn't that she was good. She's got a mean backhand slice. So, she could play, but the rules were she's like, I just don't understand. And to boot, there were a lot of arguments on the court, people bickering about whose point it was, rule apply, that rule. And she was just like, I've never seen anything like this. She's like, next time I play, I'm going to have to bring the rule book with me. So, yeah,
I was appalled.
So, we came home and, looked up what on the
we looked for
USAP,
the rules.
at that time, rules, and it's 70 pages. And she's like, well, obviously I'm not printing this out and carrying it to pickleball with me. And she says, there's got to be an app out there, right, that has, the rules in it that I can, just refer to. And we looked and looked on the App Store and found really nothing, certainly nothing that was interactive. And she's like, well, we're going to have to make one. And that's sort of what we did.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the process of that, but that's it's pretty encompassing.
Yeah.
So when with Volleybird, you got then you came up with the product package. Would that be the next kind of evolution of the company?
Yeah. So when I started building building Ruley and realized there was a need for lots of sports rules out there that people have issues with, or, you just want to have something handy. And we kind of started building not only the pickleball app, but also got into tennis and paddle, which is such a new sport here in the US, and, wants it to grow. But people don't know it yet. So the rules are necessary. And then golf. So those were the four we were going to start with this AI powered app that we were building, and Tracy realized there were no subscription boxes out there for pickleball. And she knew a lot more about subscription boxes than I did. I really had not ever thought about it before. But basically we realized, well, if we're going to do this app, we might as well also be able to sell, the actual gear and stuff for these four sports too. And so that's how Volleybird was born.
So, how do you pick the products and the partners so each box kind of feels premium, kind of, useful, but, it's not just stuff? I mean, I know when I get things sometimes from people, it's like stuff like, how do you kind of curate that?
Well, that's sort of the balance. I had been, I don't know what your background is with pickleball, but pickleball players can be a little fanatic. The hats that say pickleball, the shirts, the dish towels, the bath towels, everything. Pickleball, pickleball. And there's all these cute little sayings and whatever. So I spend more time than a woman in her 50s should on social media. Mm-hmm. And I kept seeing all of these little storefronts pop up on Meta. And, I would follow them and see that, they had some cute things, but all the stores were kind of carrying the same merchandise. And then 6 months later, the stores would be 70% off. We're clearancing everything out. So that to me says this didn't work, right? So I wanted to put together products that were different from what I was seeing. Because like I said, everyone was carrying the same stuff. And I was like, there's got to be better stuff out there. And then I would see also smaller companies popping up that were manufacturing their own goods, from paddles to lifestyle items, to different kinds of gear and grips and all sorts of stuff. For cutting boards, pickleball paddle shaped cutting boards. Like I was just really seeking out artisans and, lesser known,
smaller businesses.
Yeah, smaller businesses. As I've always
eco-friendly.
I've always worked in small business, so I'm more sensitive to that. And you go on, Amazon or Dick's Sporting Goods, and again, it's all the same stuff.
All the same.
So we really started to curate and see that there's really some fun things out there. And I wanted the box to be different. That was my number one, was that it was just not going to have things that you see everywhere. And I also, number two for me was, I wanted it to have a mix of items that, okay, I could use this for pickleball or tennis or golf, but I can also use this when I run to the grocery store, or I could throw my laptop in this bag, and use it, carry it on the plane with me, or, our pre-item in our tumbler carrier that was really nice quality for your Stanley. And they had, engineered it so you could fit those cups in it. And it had a little, zipper wallet in the front. And I thought, okay, great. You can use this when you go to play your sport, but you can also take this, to a barbecue or, to a BYO, because it actually fit a bottle of wine. So we just thought this was, of products that I wanted to feature in the boxes, also sort of supported and surrounded by your basics, tennis strings, tennis balls, Padel balls, golf balls, pickleballs, grip tape. So that stuff is in there, as well as some apparel. Yeah. We're slowly moving into apparel, because I wanted to, because with sizing and stuff, it gets very
100%.
Another layer. So we're moving into apparel, and
the other part of it is with, pickleball obviously is very popular right now, but Padel is so new in the US. There's hardly anywhere to find gear and apparel for that yet, let alone unique paddles. So we're bringing in a lot of stuff from Europe and the UK that you can't get here, specifically in the paddle category, not only in the boxes, but we're about to launch like a paddle store where you can buy bundles of everything you need to go out onto the paddle court for the first time if you haven't done that. So we've got Italian paddles and really cool stuff.
Okay, so let's kind of shift from that to, what I would sometimes call the elephant in the room. I mean, two female founders of a company, which sadly in the sports industry,
very rare,
not very prevalent. It's an anomaly almost.
Yeah.
So, was there a one barrier that you kind of hit kind of initially when you started going into it for fundraising or partnerships that?
Yeah, I think on, not so much on the Volleybird side. right? Because it's more consumer focused. On the Ruley side, you're marrying tech with sports,
which is another,
male
saturated,
traditionally more male dominated industry, although it's, more and more women, but definitely it's been a little bit of bro culture that we have, and that's fine. I mean, honestly, that's totally cool. Like, I think one of the advantages of being in your 50s doing this is it's totally different. You don't really care about a lot of that stuff. There are times when it would be good probably to have a guy in the room with us to be taken a little bit more seriously, though, on the Ruley side, I think. But that being said, it's such an amazing, we've had nothing but really strong support and accolades for what we're building on the Ruley side, that, we put together a tremendous advisor board of folks from sports media and sports tech areas, because they see how big this really is going to get.
That makes a ton of sense. Absolutely a ton of sense. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to really kind of take a little in a more depth look at Ruley and AI and kind of the future of rec sports with the two founders here of Volleybird. Really excited for it. So we're gonna be right back, and we'll take a quick break. This episode of Just a Cup is powered by Iron Faith Nutrition. Holistic, natural, faith-based formulas for real-world performance, from curcumazyme for inflammation and recovery to Vitamin Plus Herbs, the most powerful packed multivitamin liquid on the planet. Boost your health journey today at ironfaithnutrition.com. And don't forget to subscribe on Bleav and on YouTube so you never miss a cup. You can watch us Bleav.com or on YouTube. Just search Just a Cup. We're back and excited to kind of dive in a little bit more in what you said right before the break about AI and how that is, it's really kind of changing things in sport. It's getting more popular or more kind of integrated in the sports culture and really in the sports tech specifically. For a player mid-match, what problem does kind of Ruley serve in a short explanation?
Well, so first, let me start by saying that, we're training our proprietary, let's call it AI brain, on, many, many, many sports. And really looking at this as, while we started off really going direct to consumer, so we thought, building these apps, we realized that the best way to get this out there and be the most helpful to people was to team up with existing federations and brands that are in sports that want to have add more value, right? They want to add more value to their fans, to their players, to their spectators. So basically, the thing is that if you're a player, you can pull it up and you can get an answer. You can put the scenario right into and get an answer as to what your as to whose point it was or what the actual rule is. So there's no bickering, right? I mean, that's kind of the short answer, particularly in pickleball, right? If you've ever played, something comes up, who wants to stand there and argue and bicker? Who wants to see, you end up in a YouTube fight? So, but the longer answer is, let's say I'm a football fan and I'm new to football and I don't know much about it, and I'm watching the Sunday games, and now there's a call made. And I mean, I can think of many a call as an Eagles fan, because I get frustrated every week at what the refs call, right? And I wish I had, because I want to know, like, really, is that really the rule? Or are they?
My mind went right to my wife.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm watching something and she's like, what are they talking about?
Yep.
I really want to explain this.
Yeah.
My first thought process is, I don't want to explain this.
Right.
So that would be amazing.
Yeah.
To understand. We go to baseball games. She does the same thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I don't have time to explain it.
Yeah. And the other thing is too, imagine if you're a sport where you're trying to grow your fan base, it's very difficult to get fans if they don't actually understand the rules of the game,
Yeah, boy, my mind just went right to international expansion of the NFL and some other sport leagues outside the U.S. to kind of explain what does this mean? Soccer, hockey outside the context, or soccer in the U.S.
Yeah.
Wow, boy, you got something on you right there.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to ask you this because it kind of blows my mind, the meteoric rise of pickleball. I mean, I live down in South Florida. They just built a massive complex in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh yeah, the fort.
Yeah,
it's huge. I mean, massive. And when we were living in Cincinnati a couple of years ago, they were transforming most of the tennis courts downtown at Sawyer Point into pickleball courts.
Right.
It was packed every single day that I would go by there. Why is that? I mean, somebody that plays it, is passionate about it. Why has pickleball become so popular?
I answer that.
I think it's easy to learn. It's tough to master, but it's easy to learn. There is a real sense of community with it. I think during COVID, it kind of exploded. I know in my neighborhood, people were, drawing in courts in their driveways, and, you could get a couple paddles on Amazon. The balls are, glorified wiffle balls, really. So it's a family game. And I think it kind of just took on a life of its own. I think it was just a perfect storm, like I said, of, COVID and more exposure.
And then the money started pouring in.
And then people saw, and the fanaticism that comes with it, and it is, I have to say, highly addictive.
That's what
I was a marathon runner for 10, 15 years, and I had to stop because my knees. And I just felt like it was such a loss for me. I couldn't find anything that gave me that feeling that I got when I ran. And until I started playing pickleball. And then this is the next thing that really, for me, gives me that feeling of, I just want to do this, and I think that is pretty standard across the board with pickleball players, because the same people are out there every day hitting that ball.
Why has, now we'll shift that, and maybe I ask you this one, Tracy, with Padel or Padel.
Yeah.
Why is that now becoming a trend or popular in the U.S. when it wasn't? Does it piggyback off of Padel or pickleball's success?
No, it's actually closer to
tennis.
Is very athletic. We took our first lesson a couple weeks ago, and I'm surprised at how hard it is for me. I don't have a tennis background. Most of the people who play Padel do have a tennis background.
Gotcha. You got to use more muscles with it.
And playing off the walls, because you can play off the walls in Padel.
Yeah.
Right.
So like racquetball or squash, I guess. Yeah.
I would probably kill myself if I
it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's really a big, it's a workout, right? And the other cool thing about it is, at least some of the clubs that are popping up in major cities, like, if you go down to Miami, you'll see they have made it kind of,
it's a vibe.
There's a whole vibe to a lot of these.
Loungy.
They've got loungy, and there's, sometimes a DJ there, and
the juice bar, sometimes a cocktail.
Yeah, it's definitely a different.
The crowd's younger.
Yeah,
it definitely appeals to a younger crowd.
Miami's going to make everything kind of hip and kind of a scene. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just how we do it in South Florida, right?
Right.
But even the club we went to in Philly, the club we went to in Philly had a whole like lounge area with a kitchen and coffee and drinks, and
I think that's
all the plugs for
European.
your the plugs for your technology. And you know, there was a man just sitting there on his laptop. He didn't even seem to be playing.
Yeah, I think there's part of the European influence as well.
That makes sense.
You know, that's kind of just what they're used to, which is nice. You know, I'm hopeful that we see the boom in paddle that we've seen in pickleball. I would be thrilled.
It's interesting. Very, very, I mean, obviously 2 different sports, but 2 similar racket type sports,
right?
Which is very interesting. When you look at how, you know, Volleybird and Ruley, I don't want to say they kind of lower barriers for new players.
Yeah.
Cost, knowledge, maybe you mentioned the words confidence and knowledge came out big time in things that you've said. Why is that?
Well, I could say on the Ruley side that I guess because of my very first experience with the pickleball court bickering around me, coming from a tennis background, which has such a strong etiquette and sportsmanship, right? It made me cringe at what I saw. I felt very uncomfortable because there wasn't that level of sportsmanship. And I started realizing, you know, I've been playing for close to 50 years, the sport, that there seems to be less sportsmanship in sports. And I have to believe part of that is if you look at youth sports, for example, we have a huge problem with parents and, you know, referees are quitting, right? Coaches are walking away. And a lot of it has to do with the parents. And I believe it's more because maybe some of these parents don't play those sports. So they're arguing because they want to protect their kid, but they don't know what the rule is. Right. So we've had a lot of like Little League baseball people say, oh my God, we need that. We need that. I would make all the parents have it.
Plus the rules change
and
by
the rules
age level.
do change by age
and
level
league.
And league.
Right.
So yeah. So I'm hoping, you know, kind of underneath it all is maybe we can help elevate sportsmanship and camaraderie up a little bit.
Right. Okay. So we're going to think bigger picture here. Next 24 months, biggest bets with the AI features, like voice, you know, are you just wearable type stuff integration, AR overlays? Is there, you know, rec league integrations? I mean, have you guys kind of looked to that standpoint yet?
Yeah, for sure. So I think for Ruley, the biggest thing is that we provide the partners that we will license this to with a lot of data, right? It's not only what the Ruley tool can help them do with knowledge of the fans and players in their sport, but it's also what are we learning from the conversations that people are having with it. Maybe there's some rule changes that need to be made based on, you know, repeated issues that keep coming up. There's some predictability, you know, some predictability potential there, but also this is going to end up probably off of your iPhone or your mobile or laptop, and there'll be integrations into television and other, I would say, venues as well. Ultimately, if you ask me, big picture, I see the referee industry being phased away or greatly reduced as the AI and, well, between visual and and AI, right? All of that will be able to do probably just as good, if not better, a job. And at least we'll know it's completely impartial and not have to worry about things like just came up last week with the, the Fed raid.
Well, tennis, you saw it this summer with tennis.
Yeah,
Well, the tennis matches had
matches. They have the
virtual,
eye.
what do they call
Yeah,
it?
they took the lines judges away in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I mean, there's integrations constantly. It's kind of evolving. Baseball talking about putting it, the strike zone kind of look after for next year. I mean, there's definitely a lot of it coming in. It's fascinating. Well, all the things that AI does, but it's also, to me, kind of terrifying of all AI does too.
Yeah, yeah.
To be very honest. Let's go. We're gonna go for the rapid fire wrap up. We do 6 questions, and I'm gonna go back and forth and ask you,
Okay.
and you just give me a really short, condensed, thing that pops off the top of your head, because I want to get kind of some pureness of it. And I'm gonna start with you, Tracy. You're gonna go first.
All right.
Favorite court game day essential that players never think to pack?
I have to say, for me, it's got to be like lip balm.
Lip balm. Okay.
Nice. That's my wife packs it all the time, so I understand that.
A good lip balm, yes.
Tracy, one rules myth you would want to retire forever.
Is that for me or Cassandra?
For Cassandra.
Oh, okay. One rules myth they would want to retire forever. A rules myth. In like any sport?
Anything.
Like something that people think is a rule, but it isn't?
Yes.
Okay.
I can answer that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Bang it.
I see it all the time in pickleball, honestly, is the theory that rules don't matter in rec play. People throw that out there all the time. People want to bend the rules. Now, just let them go. Just let them go. It doesn't matter. It's not a tournament. You're not going to the Olympics. We don't need to worry about the rules. I call BS. Rec play, professional. There's rules for a reason.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. We'll go back to you on the next one. Then underrated local club or venue.
Underrated.
Yeah, one that you've been to that you like, but maybe doesn't get as much love. And it can be any sport.
In any sport. Oh, okay. Well, I would say like probably in Philly, the stadium.
Philly's always underrated.
Yeah, Phillies are always underrated.
Yeah.
So we're a little biased on that.
Or Philly always thinks they're underrated. That's part
well, maybe that's part of the problem. We do have a chip on our shoulder.
All right, both of you get to answer this one.
Okay.
Pre-match snack or coffee order? Give me one.
Pre-match snack for me would be, well, I won't eat like 2 hours before I play anything because I don't want to get sick. So maybe a banana 2 hours before. Yeah.
Yeah, coffee order is a protein for me. I mix a strong coffee with my protein shake, and that takes me through.
I like that. I like the thought process in there.
Yeah.
What would be a dream brand or league collab with Volleybird and then one with Ruley? So you give me one with Volleybird, one with Ruley.
Go ahead. You do the Volleybird one. What would it be?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Hello Kitty. We would love to do a Hello Kitty collab for Volleybird.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would be cute.
That's awesome.
That would be cute.
How about a league? With Ruley?
Well, I mean, dare I say, like FIFA?
Ooh.
Yeah, the World Cup's coming.
Yeah.
Coming here soon.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. I think in this country, knowing the rules would be a real big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the other one, I do have one more, would be the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Look at all those games.
I mean, honestly, who knows how to do curling?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
We used to watch it when I was in college. We'd watch it and drink to it. We had no idea what was going on.
Right. What are the rules of bobsledding?
Right.
Absolutely interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave on a serious note because my mind could go a lot of different. One sentence or a short advice for women launching into the sports tech space.
Good.
I think just be confident. You know more than you think you do. Trust your gut. Your instincts have gotten you this far in life, particularly if you're like us, a little, more midlife. Yeah, trust your instincts. You know more than you think you do.
I like that. That's such an easy thing, but such a hard thing for so many.
Yeah, because there are a lot of voices out there giving you opinions. That's one thing that is really, really tough to deal with sometimes, because different people are there to advise you on different parts of your business.
Right.
And you can start to lose your voice and your vision if you listen too much.
That is a very true statement. Cassandra, Tracy, this has been some awesome stuff. I get educated on a couple things that I had no clue about. And now I feel like I can at least have some conversations.
There you go.
Excellent.
when it comes to it. Hey, clear playbooks for kind of, I guess turning moments in the movement. And that's kind of what you guys did. Turning a special moment in the movement, on the court and, kind of the product roadmap. Hey, if you've enjoyed this episode, follow, subscribe, listen, and watch really anywhere you get podcasts or on YouTube. Big thanks to Iron Faith Nutrition for powering the show. I am Bryan Fetzer. Hey, always remember, performance is simple. It's just not easy. So till next time, have a great one. God bless, and make sure that you get on Volleybird and look at their products. Be blessed, friends.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.